Hello and welcome. Can you believe it? We're on week 9 of our Bourton on the Water art lift, and it's me, Karen Hilliard. Okay, so we're looking at 2-point perspective today. We've covered 1-point perspective in the last series of sessions we've done. So I've taken a photograph this time and I'll be sending you yours. I've got other images, sending them to you on email, but this is the one that I chose to work from. It is a little bit kind of busy, so you know, you may find your own ones, but I chose this one because it is very kind of a very typical 2-point perspective. So we've got our building line here, and we're moving away in perspective that way to a vanishing point in that direction, and we're moving away in that direction to another vanishing point in that direction. And then it's how the whole building, how the structure goes, where we move away, how the lines work. So what I did was a little sketch here, and so here we have the pencil line is just, so we've got a few of these chairs down here, windows, first floor, and then these are just kind of a bit of tree that's kind of coming down. I just put, I particularly liked that because in terms of perspective that we're looking at, you know, you've got your disappearing that way, things to the foreground and things to even more of the foreground, so that it gives you a great depth of field there. So that was the thinking behind that. And also, if you took that away, there's not a lot of greenery, and I just thought that brought a lot of kind of life to it. So that's where we're at with this one. So let me take you to this. So I literally kind of drew out what was on there, and this is your perpendicular line, which will be parallel rather, which this is your perpendicular line that will be parallel to the sides of your page. So that's your kind of constant, that point. So from here you're disappearing off up there, disappearing off up there, like I was just talking about. These red lines are the ones that are to kind of help you to kind of figure how we disappear. So I just have one of my rolling out guides here. It's just sturdy. So you can see that if I put those lines there, you're getting a good feel about kind of how those go. And so what I'm doing by that is I'm showing you that the top of the windows will all be in the same line. The window sills will all be in the same line. The ridge there, well, it's not a ridge, is it? It's just a building line. All of the planters, etc. So what you're doing is you will have your vanishing point over here. I'll just do a quick pencil drawing on here. I'll show you what I mean. So you have your building here. Actually, if I make it a bit smaller, I'll do it on the back. So if you have your building here, your vanishing point is there and vanishing point is there. So if you imagine, you could have, that might be not strong enough, I'll go over, actually I'll use a Sharpie because you'll be able to see that much stronger. So if this is your building line, and you're going off there and you're going off there, then you eventually, this is your new vanishing line on either side. So if you imagine that this is the other corner of the street, and you've got more buildings, that will just go into a vanishing line like that. And say this is another corner of the street, so this is the other side of the street, so that your street is going like that. So that's your vanishing lines are there, and that's why it's 2-point there you go. That's why it's 2-point perspective, because it's your vanishing point up here and your vanishing point up here. Whereas when we did our vanishing line on the 1-point perspective, it was like that. You had your horizon line and you had your vanishing point like that. I mean, sometimes you can kind of have a bit of a curve and it can go like that, but it's still moving into one vanishing point like that. Whereas here, your 2 vanishing points are up there. Okie dokie, I'm just going to get another piece of paper because I just want to show you here. I've got a line on here, that I'll just forget about that. Because I just wanted to show you, just to kind of reiterate what I was talking about there. So here we have, actually that'll do. So we have, this is the line of the building, say, and we have a line going that way and a line going that way. It could be, actually, let's forget that, because let's make a more peculiar line. So it's straight there. Oh, I'm going to get another piece of paper. I just keep changing my mind. Oh, where's the pad? Here we go. Just talk amongst yourselves. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so we have the front of a building here, and then it's disappearing off up there. So what I was trying to do is to say, if this is the corner of the building, I'm just going to build a box around that so that you understand the kind of perspective of it. So if this is our baseline here, and I'm just going to use a ruler just to make it so that you can see it more clearly, because this is allowing me just to show you that this line will be parallel to the top line. Okay, so, and I'm going to go parallel to this line, and I'm just going to bring it up to there. And what I'm going to create in effect is a box, yeah, well, not necessarily a square box, but a container that will have a just make sure it's in the viewfinder, to make sure that you can see how this kind of perspective things work. So that's a straight line. This is parallel to it, right? And we're going to take another one parallel to it, and I'm going to make it a little bit longer because I want you to be able to see something that's not a box. So just going to put that there so you can see it's parallel, parallel, parallel. Okay, so now what I want to do is to show that there's just to show that this could be a box by keeping everything parallel. So if I have that to there, I'm just going to bring it down slightly. It's going to crisscross on there, and so this is parallel to that, and that's going to be parallel too. There we go. Okay, so this one is parallel to that, is parallel to that. This one is parallel to that, and this one and this one and this one are parallel to each other. And that one. And that one. They're all the same. That one, and that one. So it just helps you to see, in terms of a box, how that perspective of that works. Okay, now what would happen, well, we'll just leave that there, but that is the kind of basics of that. But I suppose what the other thing is that if we were to continue that on at that angle, in terms of perspective, it would just open up a lot more, because we're looking at it at an angle like that. Anyway, put that to the side and get on with the real stuff. So what I've done is I've taken this and I've shown you the perspective in terms of that one. There's a lot of angles in this, but I use that specifically because we would be able to see what was happening in the kind of flow of how those lines worked on there. So what I've done is I've gently drawn that out on the good paper, so that's that nice watercolor paper, with my pencil. And what I'm going to do now, I just started this off here, is to look again at where the light is coming from. Okay, so you have the light is obviously, you can see it's coming from this direction here. It's hitting on that line there. You can see the light coming above whatever trees are there, because it's quite an undulating shadow that's there. So what we're looking at is very bright here, much more in the shade here. So we're just back to that light and dark. So the other thing we're going to see is that we can see the window recesses here. Oh, sorry. We can see the window recesses here, but not here. So this all plays into the perspective and how we see it. There's also just little things like this to watch out for. So you see where the sign that's on here is. So I have a little thing here, but I can see that I just need to give it just a little little return on there, so that you're getting the feel of the sign that's on there. I'm not going to put the wording in just now, but you know, that's what I would do. But the main thing with the pen is that areas that are just that bit lighter, if you use, I'll bring that up to you, areas that, hang on, okay, areas that are a bit lighter, I use a broken line, and areas where there's more shadow or more definition, I would use a stronger line. So here in the windows, I've got quite broken lines here, but the signage is a little bit stronger, and also the uprights of the window in these recesses are that bit stronger, and I will use shadow in there when that time comes. So what else am I wanting to talk about? Well, I'm just going to do a little bit on here, try and keep it in shot. Looking at say that this is like a very kind of strong edge on here, but as it's kind of stone, I'm just going to keep it a little bit broken. And we've got a downpipe here where we will have kind of connections. I'm just thinking, where's that connection? It's just about up here. So I'll just bring that across like that. And there's another connection which is just below there, which will be just around about like that. And if you hear any funny noises, I've got Tulip in the studio with me, so she's just snuggling down. Finding it all a bit chilly today, she is. So I'm going to take that down and bring that. Now there's a kind of grate thingy, whatever, I don't know what it is. But you know, sometimes in a composition, just because something is there doesn't mean that you have to use it. So I personally would leave that out, because it's not adding anything to the composition. So what I'm going to do is look at what's around there. So I'm just going to kind of look at this and basically pretend that that's not there. So as I take this down, I can see that that pipe is actually further out like that, so it disappears into the kind of path. So it's just important to those kind of details make a really big difference. Just looking at this, keeping it quite kind of broken. I didn't put a window in there, but I'm going to put that in now. So we have a kind of little mullion window, and it's really quite low down, and it's roughly in the middle. So I'd have that. And we have a nice lintel on top, which kind of comes across from there. Bring that down. And that also helps me to figure exactly where this window is coming, which will be just underneath that. And I'm going to bring and I can see it kind of comes out like that. Now on the images that I will have sent you, you will find a lot of images that maybe are a little bit more simple. What I'm going to do on this, just to give it a little bit more kind of definition now in terms of shade, I'm just giving it just a little bit of detail on there. In terms of pathway as well, you've got a lot going on here where you can kind of take things out like this and just kind of create a little bit of your road surface on there. So you've got your lines coming along here, and you can, you know, create that feeling of it kind of disappearing up like that. We've got some bits going up there, and again, hang on, just check we're in, yeah, this area here we've still got kind of much darker area on here, so using a stronger line. We've got this kind of recess of stone mullion here. I need to just lift it up so I can see it a bit better, you know, the old eyes and all that. So just taking that out. So we have in that got this kind of little recess here like that, and it just gives you that feeling of it being what's the opposite of recessed? Proud, that's the one. So that you can see it's proud of there. And then we have this chimney, chimney. And again, the line on the top of the chimney will be parallel to that line there. Yeah. So that's those are all those little things that you need to really bear in mind. Actually, it's not a chimney. I think it's one of those walls that go like that, where it steps up from one level to another. I think that's what it does. Bring that down there. And it has a beautiful old lead pipe, which again is proud of the wall and comes out into the road. And this is in much more light, this area, so I would just work on with that. Well, I will continue on with this, but I don't oh well, yeah, no, I just wanted to do a little bit more just to show you. So we've got the paving, which is here, and giving you a feeling of it going like that, and we have more paving obviously here. And again, the line, where's my little stick, here we go, the kind of lines along here are almost like, you know, you're doing that vanishing point thing. So it's just so that you are aware that, you know, the wider that it comes, that the angle of those are just slightly different. Now, I am aware that this might sound complex, and I probably did choose something that maybe is in retrospect a bit complex, because there's just so much going on there, but there are much more simple images on the email that I will send you, so you can have a look at them. But you know, we've got some kind of nice things going on here. It just depends on, I suppose, how much of a you know, whether you want to spend some time doing something which is kind of more detailed, or whether you want to start on something more simple. Just doing the little table here, just getting a few of the folds in of this. Make that probably a little bit high, give a bit of a feeling like that. Can't see the other chair there, see the chair. There we go. I suppose there's chair table legs under there somewhere. There we go, another chair. Am I getting a bit lost here? Yes, I am getting a bit lost. Where's my table gone? Okay, just getting that in as much or as little as you want to. These lines here, you know, you don't have to put whole things in, but you know, sometimes it can be nice just to give a bit of kind of continuity to a point where you are feeling that there is kind of connectivity in those flagstones as you work along there. Just gonna come up to here. You know, it's just one of those things that you're just gonna have to spend a bit of time, whether it's now or whether it's over your Christmas break. But that's, I will work into it to finish up the actual ink part of it, and I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do that prior to the paint that I do next week. So I'm going to stop it there, because a lot of this is just you taking the time and space just to kind of work it out. So I'm going to sign off for now. So I think I've done particularly well at 22.5 minutes. Well, anyway, I'm just aware that I do tend to ramble on a little bit. Anyway, that's all for now. Please stay safe, stay creative, and look forward to seeing you on Zoom tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.